How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower. And maybe, huh?
I could say that about Adrian Broner and Floyd Mayweather.
I would say that more about Adrian Broner than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, true. But like I said, Jake Paul is creating his own platform. It's like it's like going on the on the Twitch streams and complaining about their streams. It's like you logged on, you paid, you came to my server.
That's a good point. He's doing it on his own thing, so you don't have to tune in.
He's not doing it on Golden Boy. No, it's his promotion, his event, his household. All he asks for you to do is take off your shoes and walk in.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
But he's giving out free game to all of those. Because if you look at Tank is like, I don't care if you take my title. Because at the end of the day, these people just makes awards. The man makes awards. God gives rewards. So it's like, you can have these belts. You give me a belt, you take it away, you come back. I'm still the people's champ.
Tank said that?
They asked him in the press conference what happens if they relinquish one of your titles. And he says, I don't care. And say, when you get to a push to a mental exhaustion, he's got a lot to deal with outside the boxing ring. And then you step into work and they say, I'm going to take your title. I'm going to strip your title away. Say, all right, take it. I don't care. Take it. You can have it. I'm dealing with too much stress in my life for you. Me, push me, move me like,
Yeah.
Candyman from Django. Told me I got 5 more fights in my contract and Ray. Where you got Jake Paul, who just sets a name for himself. He owns his own contents and everything and his own platform. To learn the thing.
I think Tank Davis is the one that said that he wanted that. He wanted the 5 more fights. He made that decision. I don't think it was like anyone told him.
He always stipulated that he got 4 more fights in him, 3 more fights in him. And you gotta respect he's not focused. Every fight he's in the ring, he's always looking outside the ring. One time there was an event with Gary Russell Jr. and Meek Mills. He stops in the middle of the ring to look at what's going on at the brawl. He's always looking over and seeing what Floyd got.
His head is not in it.
His mind's not focused. His mind was never focused. He's just got to learn these things. So he pushes himself as far as he can. And physically, he doesn't. I've seen him when he fought. Who was the brother he fought? Oh man, I forgot. Frank? No, I forgot who he fought before. Roach. I forgot the brother name. But when he fought him, he wasn't his shape was like he wasn't in his best lean shape. Yeah, I forgot the name of the name.
I'll find that name.
But he wasn't as like lean and cut, So his limit to going up any more weight classes is over.
He found Mario Barrios, Leo Santa Cruz.
No.
Huh? Well, that was
Warren. Is it Warren? No.
Let me see.
Frank Warren.
Francisco
Frank Martin?
Fonseca?
No.
What year are we talking? Oh, I'm sorry, Frank Martin. You're right. I saw that fight. That was June 15, 2024. Frank Martin. I saw that fight.
Yeah, Frank Martin.
That fight was disappointing to me because Frank Martin looked in phenomenal shape. I thought he was actually going to do something.
And look at the shape Tank. Tank took it serious. Tank took it serious. Look at his shape. His shape wasn't... I don't know if the tattoos is covering the cuts and the physique, but he wasn't... He was simple. He looked like Canelo when he fought Crawford. He just looked like he just rolled out of bed.
So you didn't think Canelo...
He didn't look like he was crazy hydrated. He was in shape, but he didn't look like crazy. He was like he had the cut dehydrated, He just is like a walk around weight. Maybe you cut a few pounds, 10 pounds, 5. Not serious. So I think it's a limit to his success where he can go up because them boys they big when they go up, and he's gonna it'll be a severe damage to him. You know, it's like, all right, you reach your peak because you're short. You're in disadvantage. You're short. You're small. You're in a very disadvantage, and this is the most your body can come up to. So I think he'll be best. Like he said, he always wants to be outside the ring and helping his people from his neighborhood or his friends coming up and training. So maybe that'll happen. Maybe we'll see another side of Tank. You know. But as far as boxing, he got a few fights left in him and just make your money. We don't know when his opportunity may come where he could fight Jake Paul and make some big bucks anyways again.
Yeah, so he's jumping at it.
That happens with jump at it early.
Jump at it while it's available. So, I mean, where do you see this Paul train going? Because, he's clearly cherry picking, and his brand depends on finding someone that's willing to sign the dotted line. So, where do you think this is heading? I mean, clearly, if he's able to raise the money, you're gonna find someone that wants to step in the ring, and by all means, I don't think that's we've seen the last of him fighting an MMA fighter. So I know if all else fails, he's gonna reach out to the MMA community and fight somebody from MMA, which that's the only thing that I just find to be. This is again why I can't take his brand serious, because he's boxing seriously again, and by no means am I saying is he not a legit boxer. What I'm saying is, if this is what you want to do, and granted this is his brand, so he's clearly doing it his way, I just feel like then from this point on, especially after fighting Mike Tyson, who's probably 20 years older than him, 20 plus years older than him. You fought Mike Tyson, who's a legend. Then you're about to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Let the rest of the fights that you pick from this point on be boxers. If you're helping, I agree. 100%. If you're helping out the boxing community, as you mentioned, but to be going back and forth, and I'm gonna fight an MMA fighter, I'm gonna fight a basketball player. I mean, granted, he did that with that fight with Nate Paul in the beginning of his inception. I think enough is enough, because then it becomes a circus, and then I don't take it seriously. I don't know about the viewers. By all means, if you're watching this episode, chime in and let me know your thoughts. Do you take Jake Paul serious when he's fighting MMA fighters? He fought in the past Nate Robinson, and now he's fighting retired boxers and Mike Tyson. And again, my guess, Clubber Creed, his background is MMA and boxing, so I'm going to have to take him as a representation of that community. And he said it's good for boxing. And I'm not saying all boxers are going to agree with him just because he has a boxing background. I'm not saying all MMA fighters are going to agree with him because he has a background in mixed martial arts. But he represents that community, and he's saying Jake Paul's good for boxing. And I'm an outsider. And as an outsider, I'm looking at this, it's coming across as like WWE. But
he's also exposing. We looked at mixed martial arts UFC and says, "Wow, man, he has some great boxing hands. He has some great hands." And he'll take those same fighters that has great boxing hands in MMA, put them in the boxing ring, and expose them and knock them out. So what he's saying, you guys ain't so good with the boxing. I just stepped in from Disney, and I started hitting the heavy bags, and I'm beating you guys in boxing. What is going on in the mixed martial arts training camp? Because in an MMA training camp, you're supposed to have boxers in there. You're supposed to be sharpening your sword on every art: boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. So if you're the best boxer, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, Tyron Woodley, if you're the best boxer in MMA, why do I beat?
But they've never said, to my knowledge, they're the best boxer.
Yeah, they had the best hands. They was the best boxers in MMA, especially Nate Diaz. He's the Compton slap. He was like the his pedigree was supposed to be boxing, jiu-jitsu. Anderson Silva was the best striker in UFC history. Still is.
Striker, not boxer though.
Boxer, striker, I can't say it's the same, but yet you're throwing on gloves. You're throwing on gloves and you're striking. You're working on slips in, and you're getting contact. So, Tyron Woodley was that knockout guy. For long, they was deemed as, okay, those boxers in MMA was gonna, if they had the opportunity, they'll knock out some boxers the boxers in MMA, if they had the opportunity to knock out some guys in boxing, well then Jake Paul proved that was false. And Jake Paul's proven that, hey, look what I'm doing, creating my own platform. Even though a lot of people it's gonna be hard to gain the capital and funds to do that, what he's doing, but he's saying, hey, it can be done.
So, while you were speaking, I was trying to get the correct quote. There's a saying that jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to find that quote, again, with your background, and we're speaking about Jake Paul dominating MMA fighters, the thing, and I definitely want you to voice your opinion on this, for the men out there that see boxers dominating MMA fighters, I ask you, is that a true representation of what MMA fighters can do? Because as an outsider, I don't believe in a street fight these same boxers that are winning in a boxing, how do I put it? With boxing rules, and they're beating MMA fighters who are used to doing takedowns. Yes, they use their hands. You know, it's not. I don't believe it's a true representation. You're talking about Anderson Silva here. Do you want me to believe that in a street fight, Jake Paul is beating Anderson Silva, or Woodley? What is it, Woodley? You want me to believe that? I don't believe that. So
in the street fight, honestly, it can go anyways.
Really?
It can go anyways. Yeah, respectfully, it can go anyways. You just have more tools in your belt if you're an MMA fighter. But yeah, it can, any slip counters, anything, weaves, any counters, anybody's susceptible to getting knocked out. So,
all right. So
it can.
And this is the beauty about.
Like you're slightly favored.
Say that again.
You have a slightly higher favor because you have mixed martial arts. Depending on if you don't knock him on the ground, or if he takes you down, you may lose. But at the standing moment, it happens. A lot of street fights, if you see, especially World Star, YouTube, that goes viral, it's just a few 5 seconds, punches, 3 punches, and after that, someone's on the ground.
All right. So what do you say to those men? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what finished what I'm saying.
I was gonna say. So what do you say to those men watching this episode, and they're at a crossroad? They're like, I like MMA, but then I also like boxing. What should I take? Do you tell them take both? Because again, going back to that master of many is that the a jack of all trades is a master of none. But oftentimes better than a master of one.
See, we have the most fun at. Some people just may have fun doing MMA. Some people have fun just doing boxing. Is where you have fun, That's it. Just follow your passion. Because you could, how you could say, you can, it's where you're more obsessed in. Like after you're training, you go home and you're doing more film studies in boxing, and you're doing something for boxing, or you're doing it for MMA. Wherever your passion's at, and wherever your heart desires, that fire that burns, push you to MMA or boxing, where you could just say, you know what, let me go home, do some studies, and where you put your most energy to. It depends on the goal where you're trying to reach at. Do you want to be the best UFC fighter, or you want to be the best boxer, undisputed boxer? So it's what the individual goal. So I can't say for self-defense, I would tell them boxing.
Over mixed martial arts.
I would tell them boxing.
Over mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know what? That's tough.
Uh-oh.
That's very tough.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is that tough?
I would
take us through why it's tough.
Because I would, if it was self-defense, I would really say boxing, Jeet Kune Do, and judo for self-defense.
No, but you can only pick
because you're
one.
grabbing someone's lapel. Judo and boxing. You said one, but
now you're saying two things. You're not saying one. You know, for the sake of the
'Cause
episode,
you
I'm gonna
need
make it. I'm gonna make it one of those things where it's like it's one or the other. Because keep in mind, many of the viewers and many people across the world, and whether it's legitimate or not, have the excuse of I don't have time. So don't tell me, you know, jiu-jitsu and boxing because I barely have time to even commit to one. So you have in the background. First of all, how many years of
so
back?
so
Please tell the
so I
viewers how
tell
many.
someone Krav Maga. Krav Maga is a self defense. You go
And
outside,
I've heard of
you find someone.
I've heard of that, but many people may not have heard of it. Before we get into, if you will, explain Krav Maga, can you tell the viewers how many years of experience you have in mixed martial arts and how many years of experience you have in boxing?
I have 4 years of wrestling. I have might probably say I'm on and off of boxing, so I can say 15 years been doing both, jumping back and forth, mixed martial arts and boxing. If I haven't had a boxing bout, I would do a mixed martial arts event. If I hadn't have a mixed martial arts event, I would do a boxing event. So I was back and forth, constantly back and forth. So it'd be like I've been doing this for the past 15 years.
And does either one throw off your training? As far as because with boxing, it's footwork, it's hand coordination. Do
Um,
they align at some point, or is it like
They're
completely
aligned.
different?
You see a little lack in grappling. It'll fall back. The grappling will fall back, and the cage work and um, your space and distance from yourself in the middle of the ring or the octagon to the cage. How to cut off an opponent. You know, it do differs. It do things do change. You do have to go back in the drawing board and learn them basics and get back into the grappling. So it do set you back a little. Yeah, I can imagine.
And you mentioned Krav Maga. Why Krav Maga, and how does the average person even find a school that teaches that? Because that sounds like it's very specific and it's only in certain regions.
Krav Maga, yes, I haven't done the Krav Maga, but I've seen it and lessons taught on Krav Maga. The reason why I threw that out there because you said that you get to pick one, and I like box for self defense when you have boxing and judo, because after the hand combat and you close the space, now you grabbing someone's garment, their collar, and everything. So if I have to put those two together as one, it will be Krav Maga. And Krav Maga teaches that, and they get a little bit dirty with the kick to the scrotum and an eye poke and all of that. But it's good for for both genders and
The little bit that I know about
regardless
that
of
is
size.
the little bit I know about that. It's like it's straight to the point. It's one of those martial arts where it's like straight to business. They're not playing around. It's to dismantle the person that's in front of you. Am I correct?
Joint manipulations, you know, some dirty. It's a lot of dirty moves, but it's intended for like, hey, I'm in the street.
And and, and so for the viewers that don't know Krav Maga, it's they say it was originally developed in Hungarian-born Israel martial arts. Excuse me, Hungarian-born Israeli martial arts.
They said it was an Israeli armed forces that was teaching us some special Israeli troops. Yeah,
I've heard that also.
So, yeah, it's
And
you'll find
Krav,
it though. It's,
Krav.
you're gonna find
Maga.
yeah. You gotta go to the suburbs. You're not gonna find it in the certain areas in some cities. You gotta go around like maybe Manhattan if you're in New York City. You know.
It goes all the way back to 1955. They said Israeli paratroops. There was a school in 1955 that was teaching the troops Krav Maga. I definitely heard it's a no nonsense thing. I never heard anything bad about it, so that advice for the viewers isn't bad advice at all.
I don't know. I don't know if it has a ranking system like a black belt or anything like that. I don't believe so. But it's just something just to learn, self-defense. Go get you, sharpen your tools. If you don't want to look into going in the gym, sparring with some young up-and-coming amateurs, you just want to do some, get off my purse kind of
He said, "Get off
kind of
my
combat
purse."
stuff,
We're talking to the men here, but
You
women,
know?
yes. If you're watching this, I feel like any form of self-defense is better than nothing, and I would say that to the women. I would say that to the men. Any form of something, know how to do something outside of knowing how to fix something in your house. I just think that should be something that all men should be striving to do. I mean, would you agree or not?
Yeah, 100%, 100%, 100%. Judo, I was not said judo, but self-defense. I'm mainly targeting on judo, but martial arts, self-defense for the ladies is something I advocate for, especially during these times now. It's crazy.
Yeah. But listen, I want to end on the Jake Paul note. So Jake Paul, if more Jake Pauls show up, you think it's good for boxing? So if there's somebody else that's out there,
He got to fight. He got to fight some more contenders. You got to fight some contenders. Like, all right, this is the last one. This is the last straw for me. I'm just saying that. Like, I'm agreeing he's good, but he's on his last straw. Like, this is enough entertainment. Fight someone else in a division that's not an exhibition that, that's going to be a challenge to you. But he can do something like this. All right, whatever, the last straw, man. You done fought so much cherry pickers. Go ahead.
now I'm actually going against my word because after the Tyson fight, I told myself I would never tune into another fight of Jake Paul's, and he went ahead and found Tank Davis. And because I like watching Tank Davis fights, he's got my view once again. But
see, because you like watching the style. That's all he is.
No, I don't like what I like the fight. I like the people he's fighting. But I'm telling you right now, if after Jake Paul I see another MMA fight, I'm not tuning in. I'm just not. That's just for me. To each his own. I don't want to see him fight an MMA fighter. If you're boxing, I'll tune in if you're fighting a legit contender in boxing that has a boxing background. But outside of that, I'm not interested.
All right. Okay.
So
I agree with you on that.
There's no disagreement here. So, brother, anything else you want to say as far as Jake Paul's concerned? Logan Paul's not doing any boxing. He only fought after Mayweather, if I'm not mistaken. That was the last. I think that might have been the first and last fight he fought, and then Logan Paul basically bowed out of it. I don't know what he's doing, but it's clear that Jake
he's doing pro wrestling, and he's killing in pro wrestling. He's killing.
Well, good.
He's flying off the top ropes, doing somersaults.
Well, at least if there's one thing I have to give credit to Jake Paul for, because this episode is not about thrashing Jake Paul. It's really mainly about, is he good or not for boxing? And one thing I'll have to give to him is that he's consistently sticking with the boxing, unlike Logan Paul, who dabbled with it, said, I'll move on to wrestling. I could respect anyone who shows consistency. What's that?
And before I say one last thing, no one's complained that Jake Paul didn't pay him his money. No one complained. Jake Paul's paid everybody, even extra.
Yeah, like I said.
And when Ben Askren,
No, what were you gonna say? Like Ben Askren, what?
Ben Askren was on life support. He had a donation of $10,000, I believe, to him. Tyron Woodley, after he knocked him out, he gave him like $100,000 Rolex. He paid Mike Tyson the biggest fee, his biggest purse in his life. That's supposedly Mike Tyson said. He's giving everybody a big paycheck. He's taking care of everybody.
Yeah,
has a good heart.
As I mentioned before, I'll never dispute that the financial opportunities he's presenting is there. And it's a good thing for that reason. But for the boxing world, is it a unanimous open arms? Is it a unanimous open doors? welcoming Jake Paul to the boxing world? Would you know? By all means, you say it's a good thing, but are the legends of boxing saying that? Would Roy Jones Jr. say that? Would Ward say that? I don't even know what's De La Hoya's thoughts on it. What's Hopkins'
Yeah,
thoughts on
but
it?
those are all his competitors. De La Hoya's his competitor.
All right, so
So
maybe De La Hoya is a bad example. First of all,
yeah,
what does
but
Mayweather think of it? Mayweather might agree with it because Mayweather's all about money. What does
yeah,
Crawford think of it?
but those guys, what are they doing for the young guys coming up? What are they doing? He's giving them a door for the young guys to come up. What are they doing? They're making podcasts.
Okay,
You know,
fair enough, fair enough, fair
he's
enough.
putting the upcomers in their shows and their undercards. So he's feeding your kids.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
It reminded me of an interview with I have to take it to rap, sadly, but AR Ab and Dark Low and DJ Vlad interview, and they was trying to make him talk down to about a rapper, Lil Uzi, and he's like, nah, he's from Philly, he represents Philly, we're not gonna talk no bad about him. He said, nah, we don't do that. This is Philly, So he's representing the young guys, the young USA boxing coming up, and he's putting up kids gonna talk bad about Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And when supposedly when these rappers pay taxes, they're really supposed to put the young upcoming rappers in their shows, but they don't do that. Jake Paul put the young upcoming fighters in his shows. He's paying his taxes, so he's paying his dues.
I can respect that. I don't have anything negative to say about that. If that's what in fact he's doing, I can respect that. Like I said, I just have to get past like the goofy stuff that he does from time to time. But
Yeah.
well, this is why I had you on the show, because I want to hear a perspective of somebody that has a background in that, because I could have
Not everybody's gonna agree with me, but
I know, but listen, you as a fighter, you would respect it if you were on Jake Paul's undercard. So, hey, by all means, listen. By all means, I'm not even. I don't have the fighting background, but by all means, if Jake Paul presented the money to me, I'd step in the ring with Jake Paul. All right, make no mistake about it. I would step in the ring with Jake Paul for a bag. So don't think on this episode, oh, he's talking all of that. If Paul brought out the bag, you'd be in the ring. I absolutely would be in the ring with Jake Paul if the bag was there.
I'm an unpopular view anyway, so I'm an unpopular opinion anyway, so it is what it is. But who wouldn't jump in the back with Jake Paul?
Right.
It's easy work, man.
It's an easy work.
And if it's not, he's like, let's get the money.
Let's get the money. Hopefully not too much damage is done, so I could enjoy the money. But yeah,
it ain't Mike Tyson.
You said what?
I said it ain't Mike Tyson or Deontay Wilder. So
yeah, right. That's true.
I'll take it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But listen, Clubber, it was a pleasure. This won't be the last. We will come back on another episode. First of all, let me just tell the viewers, outside of this boxing talk, I almost wanted to hit Clubber up off outside of the episode and say, listen, man, let's change the direction of this interview that we're doing today, because you know where I'm going with this, right? Or maybe you don't know where I'm going with this.
No.
What we have in common is our love for the New York Giants. And
I'm still trying to get over it.
You see his reaction? Let me tell you right now. Obviously, when this airs, these episodes, because I'm gonna split it in two. It's gonna be airing. If you're watching this on a Tuesday, and you're gonna watch the follow-up on Wednesday. The Giants game was over the weekend. Sunday to be specific, against the Denver Broncos. All I'm going to say, because this is a Jake Paul episode, and I don't want to start going on a rant on the Giants. All I'm going to say is, the kicker, whose name I don't know who it is, I hope he's fired. Now, maybe I'm being too harsh, Talk to me, Clubber. Should he be fired?
You know what I said after this? Before we filmed, I was getting ready, and I said, "Yo, somebody just." I don't want to say. I was like, "Yo, somebody just tell me where the Kickers kids go to school at." I was just joking around. I was that mad.
Listen.
But I was like, you know what? No.
Listen,
I had to walk it off.
I'm gonna say this again. This episode was about Jake Paul, and I could easily make this about the New York Giants. In that game on Sunday, again, because if you're watching this on a Tuesday and you follow up on Wednesday. That game on Sunday, Dart messed up, but redeemed himself. And that's what you.
Yeah,
that's what
you can't miss it.
Hold on. That's what you want to see from somebody who messes up, because that shows the professionalism. That shows the grit. That shows if in pressure situations you don't get overwhelmed by the pressure, which is why Dart did what he was supposed to do. He had to redeem himself for messing up, and he did with that touchdown. Now, in turn, the kicker, you messed up earlier in the game, and you kicked wide. Now Dart, your quarterback, risked his body to make the Giants take the lead again. And here's your opportunity to do what Dart did and redeem yourself. And you went ahead and you missed. Listen, if I was able to reach into my TV screen and wrap my hands around the kicker's neck, I would have choked the kicker. Huh? What?
It's gonna be a quiet ride on the way back home for him. It's gonna be very quiet, man. People's not gonna talk to him. It's gonna be bad. It's like 20 yards. Remember back in the days when 50 yard was like the max level someone could kick?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, you kicked a 50 yard field goal. That's crazy. Now people are kicking 58 like nothing, 60 like it's nothing. So for you to miss 20 yards, it's like, yo, bro, what are you doing?
Like I said,
it's like, why are you missing 2 layups?
I don't want to see him in the next game. They need to fire him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he gotta go.
He gotta go. He gotta go. But I want to.
Guy could come back. The real kicker could come back, and then I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna end on that note, because then I'll just keep talking Giants. But Clubber, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out to join on this episode, and this won't be the last. We're going to link up on a different topic. Most likely, we're going to link up on the Giants. I think it's only right that we link up on the Giants, because I do want to win.
If they win.
We could discuss if they're losing. Also, listen, we're Giants fans. We gotta we gotta suck it up and talk about it. Listen, it's good to celebrate when things are on the up and up and pop champagne. But if they're losing, we might have to discuss that. But I do think it's fitting that we have another episode about the Giants, and the requirement is you wear your Giants jersey, because I'm looking to purchase a Scatterbo jersey, and I think that Scatterbo, and I think it's only fitting the next time we link up for one of these, we'll wear our Giants jersey. Sounds good?
Yeah, it's good with me, man. Thank you for having me aboard. Thank you for having me on panel.
Anytime.
Honorable Discord.
Oh, and I didn't get a chance to mention this in the intro, and I'm just going to wrap up with this. You're also a guest because, the outside talks that we've had outside of this episode, and I've told you this before, I think you are an honorable guy. You're an honorable man, and that's the reason why I like to have honorable men on this show. And I encourage you to keep pushing and also to be that leader that you already are for the youth, because I see you being a light in the community for the younger generation. So don't worry about things being perfect. Just go ahead and do it, because I think you're the man for it. So with that,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. With that, I just want to say again, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something you'd like to share pertaining to this episode, I'll see you in the comment section. And as always, stay honorable.